Hi everybody, how are you?
Good.
Good. I'll try that one more time. How are you? I'm Calvin Summers. I'm the Artistic Director of Working Theatre.
Yeah.
I'm Leah Squillace. I'm the Director of Artistic Impact for the Broadway Advocacy Coalition.
Welcome everyone to the inaugural Stage Left Festival at Playwrights Horizons. We are Working Theatre and Broadway Advocacy Coalition, and we have co-produced this incredible festival of new plays with the support of all four arms of CUNY. And so many more. It's a pleasure to introduce the first play in the series, La Dureza, by our very own Ed Cardona Jr., directed by Lou Marino. This piece has been co-produced with Latinx Playwrights Circle as part of their Next Stage series. We're so happy to have them here. And with the incredible Los Celebristas Unidos. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to say one word about how the festival came together, and then I'll hand it over to Leah for the incredible surround event that's coming up after the show. So this is a festival designed to speak directly to our current moment of political entrenchment. Today in Washington, D.C., the president is celebrating his birthday with a military parade, and across the country, ICE are picking up our comrades, our fellow citizens, and today we are going to sit here and we are going to celebrate the stories from our communities, our working class communities, our immigrant communities, and we're going to say no ICE, no kings, no pasaran. Leah, you want to tell us about the surround event?
Yeah, so we are so honored today to have with us folks from the Workers' Justice Project and Los Celebristas Unidos. Can we give them a round of applause? What you are about to see on stage is a depiction of what so many folks live day in and day out, and we are honored to bring those stories to the concrete realities after the show. So we invite you and encourage you to stick around after the play. We will be having some folks from Los Celebristas Unidos on stage, and they will be telling us not only about how this play resonated for them, but how you all can get involved, what are the current fights right now, and what we need to be doing to stand up and support all of our brethren, our workers, our working brethren, our undocumented brethren. So please stick around, please join us. This is the way that we start to take action, that we find community in these spaces of people who care about the same things, and then we hit the streets, as we know we must. Thank you all so much for being here.
Last thing to say, guys, this is a free festival. Please, please, please tell your friends, okay? There are 6 more plays in the festival over these 2 weekends in June, this weekend and next weekend. This is the moment when you can silence your mobile telephones, okay? If you haven't done that already, feel free to turn them right the hell on after the show and post about it, use the step and repeat downstairs, take selfies, do the thing. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy the show.
La Dureza by Ed Cardona Jr. Fruta de mi sudor, Eddie Cardona Sr. It's getting dark. Barabas, a deliberista, stands in the shadows.
Look, just take it. Oh, okay? Just take it. But no. They insisted on taking the one thing I was not willing to give up. Not today. That's when I heard the pop, 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 pop!
Light shift. Morning. We see a stool and a food delivery bag. Projections of New York City fill the stage.
Have all my deliveries brought me to this? To deliver, to be delivered, to be feedden to eat, to be fed to be eaten. Deliverance. Fruta de mi sudor. My father would say as he picked a cherry tomato from our garden. I was maybe 6 or 8. With a blast of water from the hose, he would clean it off with soiled hands and feed it to me. You know that soil? That soil that's clean dirt that seems as if it's the first dirt ever made from the first garden, pure stardust. Even though on my father's hands it was mixed with brake dust.
Toma, hijo. Fruta de mi sudor.
Yellow, green, red ball of sustenance. The juices would explode through the tight skin with that fruity marble and into my mouth. He would wipe it off my chin with the greenest of thumbs. If you gave my father a seed or two and enough time of sunlight, he could raise corn from the cracks of this city sidewalks. What my father didn't know was that I've been hearing fruta de mi sudor since I could remember. Mi abuela me decía que yo era la fruta de su sudor. She would say,
Tú eres la fruta de mi sudor, las lágrimas de alegría en mis ojos durante una fuerte sonrisa, tu reflejo en cada uno de mis dientes.
as I smiled, she then would tap the front two teeth and say,
Y mi reflejo en tus dientes siempre estaré presente. Búscalo cuando te mires al espejo.
my father, who heard fruta de mi sudor from mi abuela, now sharing it with me. Both of us, fruits delivered from my mother's sweat. Sometimes I say to Chucky, as I hand him a blow pop, he loves those things. Or think it as I hand the customer their order.
Barabas looks into the delivery bag.
Food connects us all. Mi abuela, su sopita de fideo would be the last meal if I had to choose. That sopita alone was reason to return home. The other reasons are, well, they're far too tough to speak of. Some of our greatest memories are surrounded by food, our scrumptious accomplices, memories delivered on my back every day. Fruta de mi sudor, the food many of my countrymen have picked, prepped, and cooked with their bare hands. If only they could speak. If only I could hear a cherry tomato's thoughts as it is plucked from all it's known in Chichicastenango, packed and sent on a journey never to return. The slice of a knife, unwanted surgery, changing it forever, only to be mixed in your favorite salad. What stories has it heard in those kitchens before it even reaches me, before it reaches you? The sigh of that line cook who's already put in a full day of work, who's getting ready and prepping for the dinner rush, the rhythms of the knives on the chopping block, dicing those red onions that will end up in your ceviche. Gustavo, the food prep, who slipped and fell again, his knees not fully recovered from the last time he fell, but, okay, let me hit the brakes a little second. Yeah, I should formally introduce myself. My mother named me Barrabas because she believed that I would be chosen, not the chosen one, but chosen. and today I was. This is my master. This is my liberator, provider of sustenance for me and you. DoorDash, Uber Eats, the beeps, vibrations, the clicks, the scrolls, el cerote, pata, pana, manin, all helping me, taking advantage, making money off of our sudor. Before I bought my own bike, I delivered on foot until I made enough to rent. Paco, un colombiano, he would rent me his bike when he wasn't riding. He would always say, si te la roban, la compraste. Once I put enough aside, I bought my own, Luz, la bestia, una Arrow 10. On my second attempt, the first attempt, somebody in el barrio was trying to set me up, but I was too smart for them. You have to be. It's too much to lose. Between the phone, the bike, the battery, the lock that connects, el casco, the handlebar mittens for el frío, it's not easy to get started. And this city will take it all if you allow it. That's why I keep Luz, la bestia, inside. If I had to, I would sleep with it. Outside, it's not safe. Eventually, you leave it out. Long enough, someone will be riding it. Plus, you want to give it a break from the weather, just like we all need. Don't even leave it in the hallway. The world will come for it if you do not keep it safe. Lugo Loco had his Arrow 9 stolen from right outside the apartment door, from a 6th floor walk-up. Those culeros took it. They stole it. He just paid it off. $950. Gone. Probably served them right, too. It was his girlfriend's apartment. I mean, he's married. You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying. So there's no doubt in my mind that he was set up. Una venezolana, una cachita como yo, y él un chapín como yo, un indio. Mira this. barely as tall as his bite, with ancient facial features, the type that Columbus probably first laid eyes on. And I me dio pena. But I told him to be careful, that women like that, they don't love guys like us. In this city, sirens, las sirenas, are not only swimming by the Statue of Liberty, they're along the rivers too, in Grand Central and the 7 train. That's why I live by my 3 golden rules to protect me from these city streets. Number 1, always listen to your gut. Always. Number 2, be aware of your surroundings. And number 3, do not die for chivas. Or stuff. La dureza, the struggle is real. It's hard enough. You know, my first winter here, on the real cold days, I would freeze. My hands would freeze like this before I got the handlebar mittens. When I first started, I made a set of cardboard from a 12-pack boxes of Coke, bodega plastic bags, and tape. I mean, they worked pretty good. Then I bought me a real set. In reality, if it wasn't for my cousin, Tonya, I mean, she's my cousin, but she's more like my sister. And if it wasn't for her, sin ella, no sé cómo podría haber empezado. Tonya was a trailblazer. I slept on her couch in the Bronx when I first arrived. She's now in Long Island. She's doing well. And I won't be if I don't start making these deliveries. Once the order has been accepted, the clock is ticking. Now it's about your craving, your hunger, saving you from cooking. You know, or needing to walk down the block to the grocery store. You know, you're talking to a top dasher, an Uber Diamond. Uber Diamond status allows us to manipulate the time for you from here to there. Boom. To your phone, from your phone to the restaurant to my phone, the clock begins. Future good reviews are at stake. Top dasher, Uber Eats Gold, Platinum, Diamond ratings, they matter. They tell el sistema, the algorithm, that you are worth it, that you have value. You know? Who gets the order if the order's not too far? The numbers make sense. Though sometimes you don't have that luxury. You don't want to affect your ratings. You don't want to jefe fantasma, AI, on your back. El jefe fantasma is already my master. It's always listening. Okay? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Right? No, I'm just kidding. Se cagó.
We hear the DoorDash chime.
So you accept. El jefe fantasma has rung the bell. Punch the clock. You have to go. Ones and zeros validating me as worthy. It's time to go. And there's nothing worse than riding around like a wet dog in summer heat. Or when the winter wind is blowing, so you want to make sure you check the weather. Check the weather. It's good. Carry my rain gear on the back of my tire on most sunny days. Backup battery, an anchor for your phone. Check. Battery fully charged. Check. Bomb. Sometimes you check the tires, the gears, and the brakes. Sometimes you just have to have faith.
His phone rings.
Un momento, por favor. I have a very important message.
Barabas, soy yo, Chucky. Mamá me dijo que te recordara que hoy es mi fiesta. Okay, adios. See you later.
That was Chucky. Chucky, ever since he found that feature on his mother's phone, he leaves me audio text messages just for everything. A friendly reminder, today I'm also on a mission to find some traditional toys for Chucky, my girlfriend's son, whose birthday is today. He turns 8. We're going to cut him a cake later. I say cut a cake, but then it always turns out into a grown-up party. I already got him a gift card for that game all the kids are playing. What's it called? Roblox? Which is going to piss her off because he already has too much screen time. So to offset things, I'm in search of a few toys that I'm going to surprise him with. That I remember my mother and father buying me as a kid. Un balero de copa. You know what I'm talking about? That's the one where you have to catch the ball on the stick. You've seen them? Yeah? The cup attached to the stick, attached to the ball, attached to the string. Yeah, I played that as a kid. I ended up loving them. He'll probably make a face and only try it a couple of times, but that's okay. I was the same way when my father convinced me to give it a shot. I'll do the same for Chucky. He's my stepson. I mean, it's not official. But I'd be his stepdad if he wants me to. I cannot imagine my life without my father at that age. Chucky's dad isn't around. Maura, she doesn't like to talk about it, so I leave it alone. He got sent back, never returned, like he fell off the face of the earth. And it's none of my business. I know she will appreciate it. She's very traditional, even though everything on the outside is very modern. I mean, we met 3 years ago in church. I first noticed her smile, endearing. And then I noticed her cuerpazo. But that's none of your business. Yeah, to me, she's the most stunning thing I have ever seen in my life. And, you know, that alone is worth the journey here. She really does have a beautiful smile. I mean, you tell me.
We see Shakira on his phone.
You think I was going to show you a picture of my girlfriend? Pervert. Ángel de la guarda, dulce compañía, no me abandonen ni de noche ni de día.
Barabbas hops on the bike and heads down the sidewalk and starts his day.
I always hit the sidewalk standing on one pedal and ease into the ride slowly. It's kind of my thing, you know? I tried to take a deep breath of NYC's metallic air, the stoops passing by on my left, the smell of the garbage grease, the grime, and the piss in the morning suns. The heat brings up from the city sidewalks. It's far worse in the summer. In the winter, the bite of that frost on your face is all you can register. Be prepared for a couple of dirty looks from El Gringo, walking his mind, who just moved here from Jersey, thinking that I don't belong on the city sidewalks, and neither do you, and who knows where else. And if I'm lucky, it's La Doña.
Buen dia.
She sells food from her corner apartment window. Her avena is my favorite. She has empanadas or pastelillos, tan juices, water, and Malta India. She always says,
Tiene que ser India.
they are terrible. Have you ever tried Malta? No? Okay, good. That's good for you. I haven't stopped in by a couple of weeks because of the city and the police were there one morning. They had the viejita sitting outside. She sat upright with her fist raised up, screaming.
Que viva la linda y la liberación.
My money is that El Gringo was El Soplón. She told me she was 105 years old. I mean, she was a storyteller. Once she told me that she made love with Vicente Fernández en la playa del Carmen.
Le hice rizar el bigote.
I think she thought that I was Mexican or something. She always told me that, she told me that when she was a kid, Malcolm X gave her a token in Spanish Harlem when she didn't have enough money for the train. I don't know how true all of this is, but they're great stories. Who cares? She's buena gente. Her hands remind me of my abuelas. I'm a stickler about obeying the traffic laws, flowing with traffic in the streets, bike lanes. It's safer, and if you don't have order, you have chaos.
Barabbas rides his bike down the street, dodging double parked cars and drivers opening car doors without looking.
If I had one wish, I would ask all drivers, check us before you open your doors. Please, I've been lucky so far, but I know a few that haven't been so lucky. The car door can be fixed. Our bones, not so much. Like that guy right there. That guy. I was told that he was hit by a car the other day. Not that I know him well, but you see each other around enough, you start thinking you do. On the side of the street, you can pick up speed, hear the back tire gripping the asphalt, feel the vibrations of the city, the hum of the electric motor. Sometimes I look down at my knees. When I need to pedal, my legs, I imagine them as pistons. The breeze smashing against my visors. The tire smoke spinning so fast that if you stared at them long enough, you could see the future. Come on, show me those winning Powerball numbers. I stand on my pedals for all the bumps, the potholes, and the steel plates covering the holes in the streets. It's better for the back, You have to be mindful of the dirt and the sand on the street, especially in the winter. When you're taking those corners, if that back tire goes out, it's trouble. It is trouble. And here we are. birthplace of the order. And I'm sorry that it's not a 5-star, a neighborhood leyenda restaurant, a mom and pop, but it's a McDonald's, NYC eats a lot of hamburgers. The front of the sidewalk is like the lobby of the UN. A pack of delivery drivers waiting on that beep, ding vibration with thoughts of like, will I make more money this week to send home? $2,000 more and I can pay the immigration lawyer. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna eat tonight? Yeah, it's a larger group today. The group always segregated first by nationality, region, and finally continent. To that side, los venezolanos con los venezolanos, los dominicanos con los dominicanos, y los mexicanos con todos los mexicanos. You understand? And to the other side is the Africans, Guinea, Nigeria, Liberia, Ivory Coast. Around the center is sprinkled a few Asians, los chinos con los chinos, Un mexicano me dice, llegaste tarde. Un dominicano me dice, mira, ¿dónde está la vaina? I do not know what la vaina is. No, I tell him, but you may think that there's a strong sense of community here, but it's just work, We're all just trying to work. We're more like competing colleagues than friends. Don't get me wrong, we do help each other when needed. Explaining an app to a new guy. The other day, we were all trying to help a Jamaiquino who got blocked out by a Jefe Fantasma on Uber Eats. With all our combined English and his heavy accent, we made some progress. I even learned a few new words. Bombo ras. Batiho. That's all I learned. Most of them, it's a tire issue. Last week I helped a guy with his brakes. And I've seen a bunch of us come out when another ghost bike is at it. We get run down by cars and killers more times than you think, pero honestamente, there is no better symbol of our existence in this city than the bike. Delivery drivers back home, they worked on other fields, fueled by different dreams, and only now, in this country, limited to the gears, the battery, the brakes, flat tires, the bike.
Barabbas locks his bike to a street sign. Lights shift. We hear the sounds of the restaurant. We see images of the restaurant lobby.
Inside of McDonald's, you will always find a diverse group of drivers, delivery drivers. My cousin Tonya jokes that if this group could probably negotiate world peace and end world hunger in an hour if you give them a chance. I believe that the only thing keeping us from killing each other on these street corners are these apps. And a little food for thought as you bite into your next hamburger. This is one of the most dangerous jobs in the city. To be a deliverista. Construction always used to lead the way. Now, delivering bacon, egg, and cheese, bagels, and muffins in this city is just as hard, just as dangerous. Regardless, the city has to eat. Orders will echo in this space all day. Regardless of how many have fallen, been run down, robbed, shot, stabbed, 12, 1, 48, each man extending his phone so that the expediter can see the order. 8, 3, 45, some guys just extending the phone because their English is not very good.
Barabbas checks his order number with the cashier. 1313.
1313. Her face tells me it's not ready. McDonald's, they do a good job of securing the bags. Popeyes sucks. It's not very good. I remember when I first started, most orders were not secured. Open bags handed out to us. Questionable looks from the customer when we handed the bags as if we picked through their never hot enough fries. Look, I get it. I do get it. Food should be enjoyed and it should be respected, shared, and savored with loved ones, not wasted, unappreciated, looked at with contempt. My mother understood that, the value, the power of food, a shared meal. Well, I have a few memories of my mother, but this one is my favorite. So when I was struggling to eat lunch or dinner or whatever, she would grab her fork and sit next to me with her long black hair, smelling of lavender. She would make sure that I ate everything on my plate, nothing wasted. Vamos a cantar unas canciones, solo por el gusto de saber. Todos los días son vacaciones, por lo menos a la hora de comer. She would turn it into an adventure, where I would always be the hero for eating the last piece of vegetable or a spoonful of rice. I remember my mother holding up that last bite so high on her fork, I would practically jump out of my seat to take a bite. Some days I I think I see her in these city streets. When I ride by all these focused faces, no matter how old, I would recognize her. She left when I was really, really young. My father told me that she came to the north for a new life, to New York City. Tú sabes, an opportunity of a lifetime. She would send for all of us, I suppose. My abuela would not speak of her.
The cashier gets his attention. He steps to the counter.
Order 13! Order 13! Yeah, order 13. She has me 2 well-secured bags. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Today is the sweet one. Some morning is La Canchita that thinks the world is hers. You know, not even her hair color is hers. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm cutting through the other ones, shouting or flashing their order numbers. That never gets old. Sometimes it looks like a choreographed performance. Again, like I said, I try to treat the order with as much respect as possible, but I can't guarantee that we all do that. I place the order bag in the bag, ensuring that the drinks are upright, and zip it and secure it with a bungee cord in the back, okay? In the back basket. One last look at the address, and it's time to go.
Barabbas hops on his bike. Images of New York City streets. We see a white bike on stage.
Did you see that ghost bike? Yeah, that wasn't there last week. I wasn't there. You know, I don't remember hearing anything about a ghost bike. Must have been a regular biker, not one of us. I used to listen to some music when I was riding. I find it better to be able to hear the streets, the noise around me. One time a guy was waiting at a light early in the morning listening to some music. Some say it was evangelico, like an evangelical podcast or something, and got backed into the garbage truck. Yeah. I got robbed for my order. I got robbed for my order. One time in this building, no money, just food, teenagers. The elevator was out. I climbed like 10 flights. They snatched the order bag right out of my hands and ran. There was no way I was gonna give chase. It's not worth it. Getting pushed down the stairs or stabbed for an order of pork fried rice with 4 chicken wings? No.
He locks the bike to a railing. He looks into the lobby.
Ay puta madre. You know, yenda, every time with this building. Every time.
Barabbas checks the address.
Ay, mi madre. 12D. Fuck. Okay, well, good way to get my steps in.
Mira, papi.
Like an angel from the heavens, I hear this voice behind me.
That's me, papi.
As she points at the order bag, today my quads are saved. My heart, the throbbing.
Papi, the fries better be at least warm.
She reaches into the bag and tries one. With a mouthful, she says,
They warm.
she hands me a $10 bill. Not bad. The order was $35.
Buy yourself a chimichanga on me. Barabbas gets on his bike. We hear another DoorDash. He accepts.
Okay, time to do it all over again. And again and again and again and again and again. On my bike. Okay. Uber Eats, Shake Shack. The address is close to a flower shop that I think will sell the toys that I'm looking for Chucky.
Projections of New York City begin. He stops at a red light. His phone rings.
Dime, amor.
The light turns green.
It's Maura. Hearing her voice always makes me smile. She tells me that she needs a favor. Another one?
No diga eso, amor.
Yeah, hold on. I'm teasing her. But I tell her as I see a flash of lights from an ambulance. I hope it's not one of us. She says something that I can't make out. Un minuto. Something about balloons. Now she's blaming me for all the noise.
Barabbas, no oigo nada. ¿Y ese ruido?
See, as if we've never been in the same situation before. The city machinery drowning us out. Ahora sí, Maura, dime. Pero she cuts me off.
He stops abruptly at the red light.
Maura, I'm not done shopping myself. But now she's criticizing me for not being done. Oh, okay. That I'm always on the street and I can stop to do so at any time. Are you really saying that to me? Chica, por favor. She replies telling me that she doesn't have time to pick up the balloons she ordered. I hear Chucky in the background.
Es para mi fiesta.
Está bien. Bien, vale, yo te lo recojo. Yes, by 5. They close at 5. La farmacia. Sí. Está bien. Maura, mi amor, me tengo que ir. Estoy montado ahora mismo. My mission objective has just increased by 1.
He checks the app.
Technically, the app It says it's not ready yet. This will give me a chance to run up the block. There's this store there. I don't know if they'll have the Balero de Copa, but El Señor might know where I can find one. In case I'm wrong about the flower shop, he's got one of these stores in New York. You know, you're never really sure what they sell, but they seem to have everything when you're looking. It's not really a hardware store. It's not really a thrift store. It's like something in between. I don't know. I ride onto the sidewalk and I slowly head straight at him. He stands and acts like if I'm going to run him over. He recognizes me. With his arms spread out, he yells,
You would be doing me a favor.
stopping right at his feet. Viejo, I'm looking for an authentic Balero de Copa. Do you know where I can find one? He looks into the store window. Items roughly stacked up on shelves from front to back. The method to the madness that only he knows.
Mijo, the world don't make authentic things like that anymore.
Claro que sí.
Who's it for?
My stepson. He makes a face as to say, love's got you by the neck.
There used to be a woman
Now he's tapping the tip of his nose while he searches for the thought in his memory.
who used to make them, carve them with her own hands and sell them on the street. But I haven't seen her in years. A lot of those originals have left the Bronx, or maybe it was COVID.
Yeah, ya la están matando.
Give me a minute.
He quickly exits the store, disappearing behind his empire of stuff. Mira, viejo! Olvídate, I have to go! Stumbling out, the viejo shows up with a bottle of ron barrilito in one hand and 2 shot glasses stacked on top of the bottle and its opening, which probably he grabbed off one of the store shelves. In the other hand, he holds a wooden trompo.
He loved this. It's a spinning top. He'll wrap the string around and throw it and watch it dance.
Yeah, I raise my hand to stop him in its tracks. No. It needs to be a Balero de Copa. He shrugs his shoulders. He raises the bottle of rum.
Un chin por si la
Oh,
mosca.
no, viejo, I'm working.
Voy ser.
No, para la próxima. I hit the throttle a little harder than I wanted, causing the front wheel to jump. He's surprised by the quick exit. I head down the sidewalk looking back. The old-timer does a shot and then raises his arms in victory, waving the trompo in one hand. I take the next turn and lose sight of him. As we head back to the Shake Shack, I laugh to myself, thinking of El Viejo as a kid playing with El Trompo, smashing it up against others like a champ.
Stylized images of spinning trompos. Light shifts. Barabbas is in another restaurant.
The pickup counter is just as busy as the outside, and the expediter is in full boss mode.
All right, my minions, it will be easier if we make an orderly line here. Por favor, hágame una fila aquí para bloquear la entrada. You, su orden, por favor.
Gracias. The delivery is right over the bridge. New towers they just put in the South Bronx. Yeah, with a long entrance and a roundabout. There's always a brand new artsy bike rack waiting just for me. An easy, quick luck up the bike and right into the lobby, where a doorman behind an ornate front desk stands guard.
Is that for 11E? You can leave it with me.
I place the bag out on the desk, take a quick photo. It's good to have proof, you know.
Barabbas exits the lobby. He checks his phone, hops
Yeah.
back on the bike.
Nothing yet, so it's a good time to check on that Balero de Copas. Mío, ese culero! He's always riding the wrong way! Look, I understand that la dureza está fuerte. I mean, sometimes you can't help it, pero ese pisado lo hace a propósito. Causes accidents. Coño. Bellas Florecer. We are here. I pull up right in front of the lock and lock my bike to a street sign, and the sidewalk is crowded. A thin tree that Bella has decorated with sacred ornaments, amulets, and talismans stands right across from the entrance, full of plants and flowers of all sizes, more than I ever imagined seeing.
Barabbas enters the store.
Doña, Bella enters from the back room with a yellow rose in her hair.
How can I help you?
She says, through her red lipstick as she brushes her thick right eyebrow, I'm looking for a Balero de Copa.
You've come to the right place.
Hey, I knew you would have it. I've been searching all over the city.
We have a limited edition series. When they're gone forever.
She walks me over to a shelf in the back, and there stands about 11 Balero de Copas. Beautifully crafted, all uniquely painted. The one I pick is wooden shade. Reminds me of my abuela's hair's barnette. She used to wear to church. It's accompanied by a white, yellow, and red paint. The red matching her lipstick, the yellow, the sun. I pay her. Let's just say it's New York prices. But it's worth every penny. It's a work of art. I exit the store and raise the Valero de Copa like if I were holding the World Cup trophy. Ole, 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 ole. Barabas, Barabas. And I place it safely inside my vest and my inner pocket.
His phone
Ahora,
chirps. He accepts.
ahora es el momento del verdadero empujón.
We hear a multitude of orders, images of New York City streets. Lights shift. Baraba stands by his bike. He stopped abruptly to answer the call.
Dime, mi amor. No lo voy a olvidar. No, te lo prometo. Te lo prometo que lo voy a recoger ahora. Estoy trabajando, Mi amor, tengo un pedido ahora mismo. Ok, te veré pronto.
Barabas hops on his bike. Barabas! Barabas! Barabas!
I hear off to my right.
Ladrón!
I can't see who it is because there's a FedEx and an Amazon van double parked.
Barabas! Barabas!
Ah, it's Fernando el Gordito de Oro. Frantic, hot, sweaty, running towards me in full speed. I squeeze both my brakes as tight as I can. He jumps in front of me with super strength like a mother lifting a car from her baby. He catches me with his bare hands by the handlebars. He is pointing down the street the other direction.
Ladrón!
I look back and I see this guy on Fernando's bike. Now, how do I know it's Fernando's bike? Because he has got one of the most hooked up, tricked out bikes in the entire city. It's a beautiful piece of art. Fernando's one of those type that everyone knows, very involved, political. He's part of Los Deliveristas Unidos, an organization trying to give us a voice. I met him when he got a few of us to go to our first ghost bike ceremony in our town. He knew the guy. I didn't know anything about ghost bikes or Los Deliveristas, so I can't tell you too much of that. Fernando could. The guy was run down in the street and left to die. They say if he would have gotten help sooner, he would have had the chance to live. But instead, they left him there. A hit and run. His bike crushed alongside with him. Alone, laying next to an order of Wingstop Spicy Korean or some shit like that. What people don't appreciate is that at the right time of day and night, at the right city street, this city can make you feel like you are the only person in the world. Lonely. Alone. I felt it on my deliveries. At stoplights, late at night. I thought to myself, if I were to disappear, cross to another dimension right now, no one, none of the other 8 million or so people I share this city would even know.
Ladrón!
So his bike was just grabbed right out of his hands as he stopped to grab a coffee. Without thinking, I swing loose around.
Vamos!
As I hit the throttle, Fernando el Gordito de Oro hops on top of the handlebars. I can hear Luz's front fork grunt. And like a clown car, we are off right down the middle of the streets, dividing and bobbing through traffic. I can't see anything and only hear horns honking and pedestrians.
What the fuck? Hey, yo, el diabetic E.T. Más rápido!
Fernando yells. Somehow I take the right and I jam the throttle. We are flying now, well, as fast as we can go with two of us in the back of Luz. Gordo, no veo. I try to stretch my neck so I can look around him.
Ahí está, ay Dios, me la quebró.
That thief, by the grace of God, slammed into an open door of a parked car. He's about 3 or 4 blocks down the street. There is no way we would have been able to con him. He went straight into the delivery side door and through the window. Who would have think that one of the Deliveristas' main nemesis would be helping us in this moment? But he got lucky too because the window, the glass, was down. We make up about 2 blocks before our luck shifts. I hit a pothole, which knocks Fernando off the handlebars and back into my lap. And we go down. A Mercedes stopping a few feet from both of our heads. Beep, honk. Now the entire street is in chaos. The thief is shaking off his disorientation. He's not wearing a helmet. He looks back. And from that ground, I am able to make eye contact with him. Our eyes locked. Gordo, get up! Our eyes are locking in this moment. We pull up, we hop on our feet. I pulled the bike up and into its wheels. I think some of Fernando's strength has now entered me too. Luz has never felt so light. The driver of the Mercedes lowers his passenger side window and yells.
Keep fucking around and you'll find out. Get in a bike lane, you morons.
Fernando is trying to perch himself onto my handlebars. Hop on the seat.
What?
Now, the love that Fernando El Gordito de Oro has placed into this bike, it cannot be rivaled. It is legendary. The frame, from front to back, wrapped in reflective protective tape in the colors of the Mexican flag, green, white, and red. The crank of the bike painted with the golden eagle crest. Each tire spoke adorns with reflectors, the colors of the cactus, of where the golden eagle stands on, its flowers and the snake in its head, the fenders covered with a few decals of everything Mexico, handlebar mittens like boxing gloves with the names of Mexican boxers airbrushed into them, the likes of Chavez, Canelo, Sanchez, a small back plate of La Virgen de Guadalupe hanging from the back of the seat, a small front plate of Jesus hanging from the front of the handlebars. Did I mention the color-coordinated streamers made out of tiny bottles of hot sauce? Tapatio, Cholula de la Viuda, Valentina, Tajín, you name it, he's got it! Ornate lowrider-esque side mirrors, lights, highlighting each pedal and tire at night. It does not stop. But the icing on the cake for me, the best thing is the air horn. That plays the most Mexican shit you can think of. It is glorious. So picture all of this, right? Picture all of this that I just mentioned. And a masked man straddling this glorious machine and staring right at you. We are facing off. At this point, we're about 2 blocks away from each other.
He gets on the bike.
I'm sorry, but there's no way to describe it. And we are in. We are locked in. We are in a Mexican standoff. Woo woo! Wow, wow, wow. Me watching his hand on the throttle. Fernando screaming in my ear. El Ladrón watching my hand on the throttle. I watch his. He watches mine. Then in utter disbelief, I see his other hand slowly reaching in. If I didn't see it for myself, I wouldn't believe it. The balls on this culero. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? He is slowly reaching for the air horn button. He's going to give us a blast from the air horn. Now Fernando notices too, and he says,
Mírate, huevón.
and to my disgust, he hits the air horn button, and to Fernando's utter dismay, no sound comes out of the horn.
Él ha tomado su alma.
And with a perfect timing, only the likes that my prima Tonia has, she's WhatsApping me.
The phone rings.
Ay, Dios, Tonia, so I answered. Are you kidding? I don't answer it. I reject that call. I don't have time for that. I'm like a track star exploding out of the block. El Ladrón takes off the street. I do the same, causing Fernando to fall back into the basket on the back rack, forcing Luz's front wheel to pop up. Now I'm doing a wheelie. I'm doing a wheelie down the avenue. Oh, Fernando is screaming as he squeezes my waist. It must have been a sight to see. 2 kids off my right by the holla spot, lips purple from the dollar juices they were drinking, stare at us in amazement as my front wheel naturally comes down. It causes the bike's front end to swerve. Wheels are gripping the asphalt as we gain on him. And I see that it's not because of our speed, but because the bike is smoking a bit. The brakes might have been damaged during the wreck. We are gaining on him. He takes a sharp left, trying to shake us. My knee practically skimming off the side of the street. We are pushing Luz to the limit. I tell Fernando as we are in the midst of this sharp left, lean right, Gordo, si no estamos clavados. My left knee now feeling the scrape of the street. Fernando leans right, bringing Luz upright, enough to save us from the street rashes and scabs. We are gaining on him. Fernando's bike, a smoky cloud now. We're going to catch him, Gordo. I scream at the top of my lungs, standing on my pedals and leaning forward. We would have caught him. But it's at this moment that I realize we're not alone. Thieves run in packs. I didn't really notice earlier when they were by my side when I was doing the wheelie, but now I do 2 mopeds, 3 riders with motorcycle helmets, visors down, Their face is hidden. One pulls out in front, cutting us off. I jerk the handlebars, just missing him. The other moped now cuts off, forcing me to pull totally into the other lane, just missing an oncoming car. Get off, coño. Oh no, I hit the throttle and just barely missed the parked cars to my left. Fernando's left calf scraping against the car's trim, helping us bounce off. We've gone through as we reach the intersection. Agua, bam! Being in the left lane, we run right into the front of a Nissan, which was making that right turn pretty fast. My knees hit the handlebars, shattering my kneecaps, launching me head first. My face bouncing off the hood of the car as I scorpion, smashing the windshield, blam! On one of my arms breaking off. One of the car driver's mirrors. I don't know which arm, but I guess it's the one that smashed in two parts. Bone protruding into my sleeve. My delivery bag breaking. It falls as I hit the street and I slide under a parked car. Luz is following me. As is Fernando. Her front rim crushes. The battery is jostle free. Fernando's left shoe knocked out and flying through the air. His foot dangling loosely. Luz and Fernando finish shattering the car shield's window. Luz landing on top of me. Somehow Fernando ended up sprawled out on top of the car hood and the windshield. We've all ended on the other side of the lane. It does not make fucking sense. How did we end up here? He's facing up, head hanging off the side like a volcano. Fernando el Gordito de Oro is spitting up blood. Some rolls down his cheek like a bloody lava. Through my shattered helmet and my cheekbone that is resting on the street, I feel the mopeds peeling away.
The phone rings.
My phone! I don't know where it is. I'm assuming it's somewhere over there, over here. You know, I don't remember seeing it, but I do remember it flying through the air alongside me. It's probably Maura calling me, wondering when I'll be arriving with the balloons. This is exactly what would have happened. If I didn't live by my 3 rules. Okay? So let's back it up.
Bravas reverses his actions and gets back on his bike.
When the second moped cut us off, it was the one with the 2 passengers on the back. He raised his shirt, and in his waist was a gun, or what appeared to be a gun. He tugged it and quickly covered it up. Now, that's not the first time I've seen a gun, or a knife in my direction. I've been in this job, in this country, long enough. Sinceramente, it's some of the same reasons why I left my own country. And you know what? It probably won't be the last, but regardless of when it happens again, I will respond in the same manner. You know, take my stuff. You want to take it? Take my money. Take my food. Fuck, take my bike. I don't care. Now, don't get me wrong, I am no victim in waiting. I hear my father say, los hombres luchan por quienes aman. Ámate a ti mismo. Lucha. I will stand up for mine. I will fight for it. My family, the loved ones in my life, but Chivas? Stuff? No, that can be replaced. And if it comes to that point, that it's between loving yourself and stuff, I will let the stuff go. I stopped Luz right in the middle of the street. I would not go on. I told Fernando what I saw. He did not care. He wanted to go on.
No me hagas esto.
¿Tú quieres morir por una bicicleta? You know, practically tearing at his clothes, he says.
Sin esa bicicleta no tengo nada.
Takes a step forward. I grab him by the arm. He's not thinking. I tell him to, Fernando, let it go. He says to me,
Claudia comienza sus estudios en septiembre. No puedo irme sin trabajar ni un día.
I release him. As he takes a few steps forward, we see one of NYC's finest turn right on the street. Has our luck changed? Fernando jumps into action, flagging them down. He's frantically trying to get the cops to help him, to chase them down. I wish I could say that is exactly what happened. that Fernando and Gordito de Oro hopped onto their back seat while they flipped on the sirens, on the directions of the pack of thieves, that until they had them, they followed them, until they had them in their sights, chased them down. The two scooters run off the road, all four arrested and the scooters impounded. The police taking a gun off the streets. But that is not the world that we live in. And when I say we, I mean Deliberistas. The truth of the matter is, more likely that Fernando will never see that bike ever again. I don't even know why someone would steal that bike. It's not like you can have it easily blend in, sell it as it is. It would be hard to strip down and sell for parts. Sometimes I just think that people do things because. Those guys probably thought it would be funny to ride that bike around town. Youthful ignorance. I don't know. It's just a bike, but it's more than that in so many ways. So I understood why Fernando could not let it go, and was probably willing to dodge bullets for it. I don't know, but Fernando will borrow some old beat bike from a friend, do what he needs to do, because that's what Deliberistas do. We fight on, because life goes on. And Fernando el Gordito de Oro argues with the police for help. I roll my bike out of the street to the sidewalk. And I take a break. I take a moment. I take an inventory of myself, of my bike.
He looks over his bike. A couple of scrapes, but nothing serious.
Shit, I almost forgot about the delivery. It's ready.
Lights shift. The phone chirps. He accepts.
Last one of the day for now. We'll see how the party goes. I can always take orders later at night.
His phone rings.
Another voicemail from Chucky.
Paradas, soy yo, Chucky. Mamá told me to say that. Okay, nos vemos pronto. Bye.
Oh, and now a text from Maura that only reads Lo Globo. If I hurry, I can still make it happen.
He gets back on his bike.
When I left Fernando earlier, he was walking away from the police in the direction of the mopeds. I can't help but think that he'll never see that bike again. Stores are starting to close. I'm pretty confident that I'll make it in time for the balloons. The traffic is still heavy, even though it's on the back end of rush hour. I still feel the wiggle of my front tire when I have to take it to the shop if I can't figure it out myself. There's a store in the Bronx, a shop by my place that I've been going to for some time. Good people, good work, reasonable prices. You can't ask for more.
He catches a red light. He looks at 4 other delivery drivers that pull up alongside. 2 run the light.
I should follow them as soon as I see the hole in traffic, but I'm done dodging cars today. I'm fine waiting for one more light. One of them taking off is Losado Juan Carlos. Yes, he goes by his full name. He's easy to recognize by the praying hands mud flap he has hanging off his back tire. It's what we do, right? This thing, this thing. My connection, my livelihood, my security blanket. 2 new texts from Tonya and Maura. Tonya is asking me why Maura is calling her to ask if she's bringing the bingo. I send her back an upside down smiley face. Sometimes Maura tries too hard. They don't have to be friends. I know they both love me. Maura has sent some pictures of the party. The theme is Roblox. Very cute. Yeah, this is all very cute, very creative. My other gift is right on theme. A lot of pictures and the party hasn't even started.
Barabbas puts his phone away. He needs his full attention on his surroundings.
I think I heard them pull up before I actually took notice of them, but now I really take them in. I hear the moped motors humming. I hear music playing. I think it's Peso Pluma. To my left is a moped, the driver wearing a motorcycle helmet with the visor down. The other one the same, another moped, just behind me. The one playing the music from a portable speaker hanging from a fanny pack he's wearing across his chest. I've been told that's the new gun pistol, the new, pistol holster. His front wheel is practically bumping my back wheel. I turn and I look at the guy to my left. I give him one of these. A nod, that says, "What are you doing?" And I see you. I do the same with the one behind me. I can't tell if these were the same guys. I should be able to, but I can't. The light turns green, and I freeze. My hand just about ready to hit the throttle. I look over to my left, and he's frozen too. Maybe it's in my head. I turn, and I face the front. I brush it off. You know, maybe I'm having a little too much PTSD from earlier. I'm making too much of this. You know, let's just get this done, call it a day. I was thinking of coming back after the party, late night dinner rush, but I think I'm gonna take a personal day. And why not? I am the boss of myself. The city machinery, its sounds and scenery are starting to help drown out my doubts and my fears. I'm feeling lighter again, as light as I ever was before Fernando was calling my name. And like always, with perfect timing, Maura is calling me.
Phone rings. He answers the call.
Hola, mi amor, dime. In the background, I can hear some music and party noises. So I have to take the opportunity to tease her. Entonces empezaste sin mí. Escucho una gran fiesta. In my best Spanish novela melodrama voice that I often use on her because she can be a bit dramatic, I say, me tienes abandonado. She doesn't take the bait. In the reflection of a car window, I could have sworn I saw one of the mopeds flash by.
Barabas, ¿estás ahí?
Sí, mi amor, estoy aquí.
¿Estás en camino?
Sí, mi amor, llegaré pronto. En unos 30 minutos. She again reminds me of the balloon. Yeah, the balloon. I promise her that I'll make it before they close. She leaves me with this.
¿Estás bien?
Sí, ¿por qué?
Suenas diferente.
No, yo estoy bien, te veré pronto.
Te amo.
I wish I could have said it back. As I pull into the brownstone lined street, I first notice a pretty small tree aligning the entire block on both sides.
He stops, confirms address.
After confirming the drop-off location on the map, I notice at the other end of the block there's a guy on a moped. Great. I'm going stop close to the corner and alongside an SUV. He's looking at his phone or acting as if he's checking his phone. I smell a setup. Or maybe I'm making too much of this. I look up and hold my gaze at the chucho. He does the same. And then he looks down his phone. So I make my move. First rule, broken. Always listen to your gut. My cousin Tonya taught me that. My impulse, my gut was telling me different from the start, but I didn't listen. I rationalized my move by thinking it was one rider per moped. If they're gonna take my bike, it's usually 2 riders. I send the customer a text that I've arrived.
He slowly heads down the block.
Brownstone is in the middle of this block. It's the one with the balloons. There's a fire hydrant right out front. I think, good. I'll pull up there and not ride down the sidewalk so I don't get boxed in. See, I'm good. My street smarts are still working, you know? My radar is fine. I'm halfway up the block when I cross over to the other side and come to a stop. I lift the front wheel over the curb and roll the bike onto the sidewalk. On the first floor of the brownstone, I can see that there's a celebration going on. You can feel the bass of the music, the balloons on the outside telling the entire world that life is worth celebrating here.
Barabas rolls the bike to a small tree.
I look down the block through the parked cars and no longer see the guy on the moped. Was it the same guy from earlier? It's hard to tell. A lot of these kids wear the same thing, you know, it's black tight gym gear, hooded mask, and the same colorful sneakers, but like a shadow being cast by the sunset, he's now on the street between the fire hydrant and the tree guard, maybe 6 feet away. How did I miss that? How did I miss him make that move? He raises his phone and he asks me,
Primo, ¿sabe dónde está esta dirección?
I can't see from where I'm from, so I step forward into the street. Now we're both in the space left open by the fire hydrant, in between the Volkswagen van and the smart car. Déjame ver. I don't recognize this address he's brought into Google Maps, so I zoom out his phone and he pulls back. ¿Es para entrega o para recoger? By this body language, he seems confused, but what should have been his giveaway was that he never lifted his visor when he spoke, not even when I approached him. Who does that? I missed that. Rule number 2 broken. Awareness. Instead, I tell him to bring up the map in the app. As he's doing this, he's pretending to be on his phone. And I hear Shakira again, just off to my right, coming from the street. I can't see from where, but like earlier, It gave me a sense of comfort. Shakira, Shakira. I jokingly sing to the guys that step forward around it to see if I can see where it's playing from. No, mira, aquí está. I stopped. At that moment, I grabbed from behind, from the sidewalk, and pushed up against the van. He punches me on the side of the head, the helmet taking most of the blow, hard enough, but it's hard enough that it'll leave a mark. How am I going to explain that to Chucky or Maura? The guy on the moped rolls forward, grabbing me by the vest and pinning me between the moped and the van. They're younger than me, but they're stronger. Two of them, one on my back and the other on my face. The guy on my back, the thought of losing my bike crosses my mind.
Te gusta meter las narices en cosas que no son asunto tuyo, hijo de puta.
The guy behind me says, I feel something solid being poked into my ribs by the guy pressing up against the van. I'm not sure what it is. Across the street, I see two women walking. Help! I barely make it out, or even I thought it. I don't know. When the guy on the moped pistol whips me across the head, cracking my visor. Tranquilo, hombre. Tranquilo. Tómalo todo. I try to see if the women are still there, but they're not. I know they saw us. Now the guy starts reaching into my vest pockets. I reach into my pants pocket and pull out a few dollars that I hand to him. Strangely, I still can hear Shakira in the background. The guy on the moped gently strikes me again with the butt of the gun. He looks around to make sure no one else is coming. Like I told you before, some streets in the city can make you feel like you're the only New Yorker in the world. They're still roughing me up. And now I think just for fun, just for kicks, I reach into a money belt that I have, keep hidden below the belt line, about $40 in cash tips. Toma eso, tómalo, por favor, cógelo, tómalo. Take it. This gets the guy that was on my back pressing me up against the van off of me. Now I see that it's a knife. He kicks my bike a few times. They don't want my bike. They're on mopeds. He pulls the delivery bag out of the basket into the bike rack, tosses it to the floor and onto its side. He kicks it and yanks the zipper, splitting it open. This causes the order in a brown bag to fall out along the street. I see Dr. Pepper. I see Ramune. As he slashes the backs of my tire, I notice the restaurant name stamped on the bag, Daruma. He then stabs my delivery bag a few times just for show. He picks up the order.
Si jodes, te jodes.
And heads back into his moped. It was his parked down the street playing the music. A pretty good setup if I saw so myself. The other guy continues to hold me by the vest. With a fistful of vest, he's punching me in the nose. And he also points the gun to my head, hiding it at times along his waist. Now it's easy to see that the gun was a fake. But I didn't know that at the time. The blood is starting to stain my vest. Está bien, ya, basta, lo tienes todo.
Cuando me veas venir, corra al otro lado, hijo de puta.
With that, he gives me one last tug, followed by a punch. This one, I really feel the cartilage of my nose get crushed. But that's not the worst part. All of this jostles, the balero de copa, that I've been trying to keep hidden, falls to the street.
¿Y qué es eso?
I tried to kick it under the van, but what it does is that it causes it to spin. This seems to infuriate him. With his other hand, he strikes me with the butt of the gun. This final blow, the hardest.
Barabbas is knocked to the ground.
I lean down, and he picks up the balero de copa and backs the moped into the street. The other guy speaks up, music still playing, but this time I cannot make it out. My ears are ringing. I can taste the blood on my teeth. I wipe the tears and the blood out of my eyes and see the guy holding the balero de copa. I jump to my feet and I rush, grabbing the balero de copa with both hands. Rule number 3 broken. Don't be willing to lose your life for chivas, for stuff. Esto no. A tug of war ensues. He hits the throttle but loses his balance because I will not let go. The tug of war continues. I pull, he pulls. I pull, he pulls. Pop, pop, pop. We are both strong. It's like a hiccup in time. My body tense as I'm ready to strike, but quickly feel that tension release as I ease back into the street against the van, as if time has been manipulated. I taste the blood on my teeth. Y sé que no sería posible ver el reflejo de mi abuela. I hear my father say,
Los hombres luchan por quienes aman. Ámate a ti mismo, lucha.
but there's more of it.
Lucha porque eres suficiente, valioso.
The guy hits the throttle, pop, pop, pop. I sit on the street with my back to the van. The Valero de Copa split in two. I hold the cup. He drops to rest, running it over with his back wheel. Pop, 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 pop. I check for holes. No holes. The moped speeds down the street out of sight, backfiring. I'm fine. I'm fine. The Valero de Copa, a work of art destroyed in less than a day. Half of the Valero de Copa sits on top of a rusted NYC manhole cover, run over, the cup cracked in my hand.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Everything is okay. Look, they took your order, but you can get reimbursed, okay? I'm fine, señorita. Why don't you just go back to your party? Gracias. She nervously exits back into the brownstone. I take a quick look at my bike. It's seen better days. I've seen better days. Today, I don't see my abuela's reflection in my teeth. I need to go. Police, ambulance, it's too much paperwork. I think the 6 train is not too far, so I can't ride. I don't want to ruin the back rim. This day has cost me enough. The 3s and 0s popped. One of the other. Colored balloons also pop, but I can't tell which one. Pop, 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 pop.
He takes most of the balloons and walks his bike up the sidewalk. He stops at the corner.
Fruta de mi sudor. Sometimes I think that the food I carry on my back, it's journey. The stories behind it. I think that cherry tomato my dad fed me that day, what if it was planted in a farm, far from my dad's garden? What would have been its journey, its story, and how it ended up here in a salad, handed over your door's threshold, a threshold we do not share? How often do you think of that? And do you believe me that I really do think of all that? Do you ever notice me? Do you ever see me ride by? Or am I just part of the scenery? The city machinery? Did you ever appreciate me during COVID? When you could not, I could not keep away, or when I arrive on time through the snowfall, although those are some of my favorite rides in the city. There's a sense of stillness right before snowfall. The stillness during COVID was too eerie. But those moments before a snowstorm allows one to really appreciate the sounds and city vistas the way I've never done before. The snowflakes, the raindrops, sometimes I look up and allow the raindrops or snowflakes to fill my visor. If I focus hard enough, the droplets from a distant galaxy, the reflections in the building facades, the angels, not the angels, the angles, the lines and scars of the city, the infrastructure, the shadows, the beams, all around you are more noticeable then. Your eyes refocusing when you re-emerge from under a bridge or a tunnel. Sometimes it allows you to see the unseen, what we choose to ignore. The sounds. A bridge mace when it exhales first thing in the morning, the birds in the park, the dogs, the dog runs, the reflections of the sun and the streetlights in the window shields of cars and puddles, the discarded trash aligning the curbs. You name it, I've seen it. Plastic bags, plastic bottles are the garbage king in these streets. Briefly masks joined, not so much anymore. The homeless rants of conspiracies, their prayers, their pronouncements, the squeal of rats, love-making of cats, the cooing of pigeons. Do you feel like you're in the zoo right now? Do you tip? 20% is last century's rate. I'm just saying.
End of play.
so much. One more time. Another Ed. Thank you to Ed. It was gorgeous, gorgeous work. Thank you all. We're now going to take a 5-minute break, okay? And then back on this stage, we'll have our surround event with Los Periodistas Unidos, okay? And Workers' Justice Project. Thank you all.